All right, welcome to Chasing Tech Reviews. Today we're going to be reviewing the GL.iNet Spitz AX3000. This is a router that can be used in a mobile situation, could be used as a home router itself, could be used for RVs as well. It's a very versatile unit. The unit comes with a modem that will handle 5G bands. Will work with all carriers in the U.S., T-Mobile, Verizon, and AT&T. Has dual SIM support, as you can see here. It does have 2 SIM slots. It also has the micro SD card slot in this location as well. If you look at the antennas on the unit, has 4 antennas for 5G, as you can see here. These antennas are 4x4 MIMO, as you can see. They also will do carrier aggregation and will work with all common bands in the US. This also is powered by a 12-volt wall wart, runs at 2 amps. And with that being said, it could run off any 12-volt source in your vehicle, RV. Works very well. The user interface for this interface is very user friendly. It runs off the OpenWRT format. So if you're familiar with that, they run on a lot of different routers, and it's an open source software or OS for a lot of routers. But what GL.iNet has done is kind of put their own spin on it and gives you kind of an idea of how that would work. Also, they have also tweaked the software also to be able to do some things that are kind of unique to GL.iNet, such as band locking. You can lock this thing to different bands, which is really going to help when you're trying to zone in on a certain band. For example, my location here, N41 on T-Mobile, is a little weak. So I'm able to lock it to that band, and it actually helps me with my speeds as well. The other great thing about this is that these antennas can be removed. So if you have a 4x4 MIMO antenna, you can actually hook these up to the SMAs. These are female SMA connectors. I know Waveform makes an antenna that is a 4x4 MIMO that'll hook directly into this and work just great. This also does have a LAN port, so you can actually hook into your Ethernet. You can hook into a switch, another router if you wanted to. And this also has a capability for failover with the WAN port that is on this. So you can hook another internet source into this and then have failover with that. With that being said, this also does have the failover built into the unit itself. So with both SIM cards that are in it, if one loses service, the other one can kick in and help take over as well. Okay. And then you get another option also if you have another WAN coming into this on that other Ethernet port, you can have failover there as well. Okay. Now, there are a lot of different options that are kind of in this same wheelhouse as this router. They are much more expensive. I find that this is very reasonably priced for what you're getting. I think on Amazon, I was looking just the other day, they're around $487 for this unit through Amazon. I'll also include the link in the description on the video for this as well. For example, Netgear makes some options as well that will work similar to this, but this has so much more capability just because of the failover options that it has in it that is built into the unit itself. Again, for the rural users or people that are in RVs, if these antennas are not getting the signal you need, you can also hook that into the 4x4 MIMO ports that they have on here with the SMA connectors to make that work. Now, those of you that need to make modifications, let's say to the modem, I won't get into all that into this video itself, but this has the full host of AT commands that you can issue to that modem to make the changes necessary you need to make it work for your individual situation. Okay. In conclusion, this is a very reasonably priced unit for what it will do. It has low power consumption. The amount of functions and capabilities it has is more on the lines of a, let's say, a PepLink router that would cost you anywhere from $1,000 to $2,000. This will do a lot of those same functions. I use this in the 2024 chase season across the entire plains, up into the northern plains, down in the southern plains. Worked very well in a mobile environment, in a rough service environment, I would call that as well, and had really no problems with this router. I did not have to reboot it. If I lost service, it would flip over to the other SIM card. The two SIM cards I had in it this spring were T-Mobile and Verizon. And I ran T-Mobile as my primary, and I would venture to say 75% of the time it just held the signal with that. But the times that it did flip over to Verizon, it worked very well, and it did not have hardly any downtime. What this router will do is ping Google or whatever IP address you want it to ping, and after so many times of not getting a return back on that ping, this then will flip over to that other SIM card, and the other SIM will take over at that point. So like I said, for the price that this thing is and all the functionalities that this will do, it's well worth the money for what you're getting in this unit. The unit does not run that warm either, if that's a concern for you as well. Does not put off a lot of heat, and the power consumption is pretty low as well. So, like I said, if you're looking for a router for your RV, if you're looking for one for storm chasing, and you want dual SIM capability with failover, this is an excellent choice to have. So, like I said, I'll put the description I'll put the link in the description below. And this is what you're looking for. This is going to be the GL.X 3000, and it's the Spitz AX.
Okay, we'll start the internet screen here. This is a pretty good layout. It's a spin on the OpenWRT format, and just gives you kind of an idea of what the layout is once you log into the admin page. As you can see here, obviously your WAN ports can be your cellular. You can have Ethernet 1 or 2. This does do the failover like I'd mentioned earlier. This can be used as a repeater. You can actually even tether to a cell phone if you want to, and use that as a second option. And then obviously you have two different SIM cards that you can use as well for the WAN ports itself. Wireless, pretty self-explanatory. It's just like any other router where you can go in and change separate networks or combined networks on 5 gig or 2 gig bandwidths. This does have a full complement of built-in different VPN clients such as OpenVPN, WireGuard, and Tor as well. Has several built-in applications which are very neat. You can actually go in and download different plugins. As you can see, there's all sorts of different plugins that you can pull into this, which is basically what you're doing is you're installing these very small programs in the into the Linux software, which is basically what's running in the background here. The ones that are already in the system as well are Dynamic DNS, Good Cloud. There is some network storage, AdGuard Home. You have your parental controls. You got 0 tier, and then you have Tailscale, which I really like Tailscale, which I can cover in another video another time. Network has your full complements of your general network utilities you're going to have in basically any router. Able to configure your firewall, your DNS, those kinds of things. And a really neat thing here is you can actually go into the system here, and you can click on scheduled task, for example. You can actually turn the LEDs off and on, schedule reboot. So if you want to make sure this has it's always rebooting on its own. As you know, some of the older routers, you would have to reboot them occasionally, or unplug them and reboot them that way to get them to go. And then even you could go on Amazon, and there were specific tools that you could buy that would actually reboot your router. Basically, they were just on a schedule and just power cycling the unit. So yeah, so you have all that built in as well, and I'm assuming this is all running on a cron tab if you're familiar with Linux as well. So, and then if you really want to mess things up, you can actually go into the Linux itself on the back end and modify things, but I would highly suggest, unless you're an advanced Linux user, not to dive off into these advanced settings. So that kind of wraps this video up. Just wanted to kind of show you some of the layout of the admin panel and the interface that you work with. So look forward to seeing you on the next video.